Yeah, we got Rona'd. We got Rona'd hard. Today I wanted to discuss the most notable natural remedies that have been speculated to either treat, prevent, help relieve some of the symptoms of COVID-19. What's up, superhumans? If you're new to my channel, my name is Tessa. I'm a licensed and practicing pharmacist as well as a NASM certified personal trainer and nutrition coach. And my goal with this platform is really to inspire, educate, and empower you guys to create dynamic and fulfilling life using evidence-based health and wellness practices. William, he tested positive. I actually never got tested, but we live in a 700-foot apartment. I got it and I definitely had all the symptoms. Both William and I were vaccinated, fully vaccinated. William got Pfizer. I got Moderna. I actually gave him and his sister their doses. But unfortunately, we had a little bit of an outbreak in the choir that we were participating in, days away from being eligible to get our booster dose. So we'll talk about that a little bit later. First of all, we're gonna go over some of the natural remedies. The first one I wanna go over is zinc. And the next one we're gonna go into is high dose vitamin C, turmeric, vitamin D, and then we're gonna end on elderberry. Now, if you like this video, if you find it helpful, make sure to share it with those who might benefit also from this knowledge. And if you like me and want to support me, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and like this video. As always, if you want a personalized supplement protocol tailored to your health needs and your goals in order to optimize your health and well-being, or if you want to work with me in one of my various personalized health and wellness online coaching programs, make sure to click the link below in my description to schedule a free wellness consultations with yours truly to see how I can really answer your questions and also provide solutions to your healthcare problems. Always important to note, natural remedies, superfoods, supplements, all of these can interact with certain disease states or medications, so make sure you're talking with your personal healthcare provider or your pharmacist just to make sure that you're supplementing safely. So back when all of this started, I was just finishing pharmacy school, and in the pharmacy, I used to get a lot of questions or overhear people trying to kind of boost their immune system to fight off the virus, try to resist the urge to jump on the whole natural remedies or foods to boost the immune system, because enhancing specific arms of the immune system could hypothetically make things worse. Let me explain. Unlike other common viruses, the coronavirus, specifically the one that causes COVID-19, has not been shown to cause a more severe disease in the immunocompromised patient. So why? Because our own immune response appears to be the main driver of lung tissue damage during the second phase of the COVID-19 infection. As far as natural remedies, so there's really limited data on the effect of natural remedies on COVID-19 because COVID-19 is relatively a new thing. That being said, I'm not gonna go over all of the studies that I analyzed and looked into because then this video would be like 3 hours long. That doesn't sound fun for either of us. So I'm gonna go over kind of some of the highlights of the 5 most common natural remedies that have been associated with COVID-19. And then I'm gonna discuss more in detail about what William and I have been doing to kind of stay healthy. So the first one that I want to go over is zinc. So currently there have been kind of insufficient evidence to support recommendations for or against the use of zinc to prevent or treat COVID-19. However, because of zinc's role in the immune system, antiviral and anti-inflammatory properties and effects, some researchers believe that adequate zinc intake might reduce the risk of COVID-19 and its severity. However, it's really important to note that a zinc deficiency is not common in the United States population, with older adults being among the groups that are most likely to have low intakes of zinc. Low levels of zinc is also a part of the acute phase response during infection, and zinc concentrations can also decline as an acute physiological stress that the virus causes. So one reason there could be this a little bit conflicting evidence on these studies is because the difference in the mean ages of the studies. Remember when I said that older adults are more likely to have low intakes of zinc in their diet and be potentially deficient in zinc? The studies that showed a positive difference in the zinc group, the mean ages were a lot older than the studies who did not show a benefit. So it could be something that has to do with age. Zinc does inhibit the coronavirus that causes SARS, which is not the same coronavirus that causes COVID-19, and that happens in a petri dish. And it does that by interfering with the virus's ability to replicate replicate its genetic code, even if theoretically zinc that we take in lozenges were to slow the viral replication, that would only happen where the zinc was located. So like if it was a lozenge, it would be in our throat. And really we want to diminish the replication in our lungs. So with the clinical data that we have now, I'm really skeptical that zinc would be helpful in well-nourished individuals. And also according to the National Institute of Health kind of COVID treatment guidelines, they're recommending against doses of zinc supplements above kind of that recommended daily value. And it's important to note that one should never take a zinc nasal spray or put it in their nose because it has been linked to permanent loss of the sense of smell. So next up is vitamin C. Currently data is insufficient to kind of support the recommendation for or against the use of the prevention or the severity of COVID-19. However, a lot of researchers recommend studying vitamin C as an adjunctive therapy. The reason behind this is kind of its possibility to reduce inflammation and vascular injury in these patients. There have been a few observational studies which really aren't the best kind of studies to find strong evidence for the use of something or not, and they have examined the effects of vitamin C supplementation on death rates in patients with COVID-19, and none of them have any effect on death rates. However, if you're just looking at self-reported use of vitamin C supplements, there's a huge study published, 372,000 UK residents, 45,000 people from the United States, and around 27,000 individuals from Sweden. And vitamin C supplements taken more than 3 times a week for the last 3 months was not associated with higher or lower risk of COVID-19 infection. There was no correlation between taking a vitamin C supplement and preventing COVID-19 infection. After analyzing the scientific data that I could find, I believe oral high-dose vitamin C supplements don't speed the recovery of COVID-19 in non-hospitalized patients. It can't hurt to take it as long as you're taking it safely. Vitamin C in foods and dietary supplements are safe to take up to 2,000 milligrams per day for adults, and higher intakes can start to cause like diarrhea, nausea, abdominal cramps, things like that. Turmeric is another, but it's really unclear if oral turmeric or curcumin is beneficial with those with COVID-19. So there's preliminary clinical data in adults with hospitalized confirmed cases of COVID-19 showing taking that curcumin 520 milligrams a day does reduce the shortness of breath by about 6 to 9 days when compared to patients who are receiving other treatments like the standard of care with probiotics. However, there was no differences in the duration of any other symptoms, including fever, cough, or a sore throat. However, the validity of this study is limited because it was really in a small number of patients with really severe symptoms, and the large number of outcomes that they were kind of evaluating, as well as the lack of the clarity related to most of the presentation of some of the results. In a similar group with patients, once again, a very small open label clinical study shows that taking a specific nanocurcumin product twice a daily for 2 weeks, in addition to other COVID-19 treatments, modestly reduces the time someone is experiencing COVID-19 symptoms. I really love turmeric. Like, I love it. Okay, here's a video I did all about it and all of its benefits. Despite my love for it, I don't think it's the magic bullet for COVID-19 or any of its symptoms. Next up is vitamin D. So vitamin D deficiency affects the body's susceptibility to infection, and surveys indicate most of the United States consumes less than the recommended daily intake of vitamin D. Although early observational studies have suggested a correlation between vitamin D status and the risk of COVID-19, not all studies agree, and many of these studies didn't control for the patient's age or other comorbidities or disease stage which can worsen someone who is diagnosed with COVID-19. And also because COVID-19 induces this inflammatory response, the virus can actually lower blood levels of vitamin D as well. So in a large meta-analysis of observational studies found that vitamin D deficiency in adults was not associated with a high risk of COVID-19 infection. Also, more recent observational researchers found no association of vitamin D status and hospital length stay, need for mechanical ventilation, death from COVID-19, or experiencing persistent feelings of fatigue, reduced exercise tolerance. I will say that there was an open letter more than 200 scientists and doctors recommended those who aren't tested achieve a daily vitamin D intake of 50 to 100 micrograms. So that's roughly about 2,000 to 4,000 2,000 IUs of vitamin D, which you can find in a regular supplement store. I want to point out that this open letter is not necessarily official guidance documents, however. So the National Institute of Health COVID-19 treatment guidelines says that there's really not enough evidence to support the use for or against vitamin D to prevent or treat COVID-19. And finally, let's discuss elderberry. Sales of elderberry extract supplements more than doubled shortly after COVID-19 pandemic began in the United States, which is why I did this video on my professional opinion on the overall effectiveness of elderberry supplements. I'll link that video down below in the description if you want to check it out after this video. And the interest in elderberry is based on preliminary laboratory and animal research suggesting that elderberry might help prevent upper respiratory tract infections, and doing this by inhibiting the viruses from binding to our cells and by stimulating or enhancing our immune system. But remember what I said previously about boosting our immune system? Elderberry effects on the common cold and influenza have been examined. However, a lot of these authors noted that the evidence is uncertain because the studies were small. There's so much diversity in the type of dosing strategies and the type of elderberry extract used, and also a lot of them were just poor quality studies. So as of today, this day, there are no clinical trials that have evaluated the use of elderberry to prevent or treat COVID-19. It is important to note though that there's a lot of research and recent analysis coming out suggesting that some elderberry supplements have been altered or adulterated or contaminated because they're really highly diluted, or they contain a cheaper ingredient such as black rice extract instead of elderberry. So yeah, that's a real thing. If you buy an elderberry supplement, it might not even contain elderberry in it. So if you want to take an elderberry supplement, which I'm not recommending at this point in time, make sure to get it from a quality manufacturer that is USP or NSF or some sort of third party verified or tested. If you want to learn more about how you can choose a safe, a pure, and non-contaminated supplement that is worth your money, check out this video and I will link that below in the description as well. Overall, this is kind of what I meant by there isn't enough evidence for natural therapies in COVID-19. We have studies that see a benefit, studies that don't, and it can be really confusing as a consumer when you have marketing and fear-mongering tactics pressuring you to buy these products that don't actually have any evidence behind them to work in COVID-19. Now, I want to make sure that I make it very, very clear that the rest of the video is my opinion. Just because William and I are doing these things doesn't necessarily mean that they work or that they'll work for you or that you should try them. Basically, with the possibility of making things worse by using foods or supplements to kind of boost our immune system, William and I really aren't really doing anything special out of our daily routine. Right now, we're routinely kind of disinfecting all highly touched objects. The CDC has since published a virus can be inactivated within 30 seconds just by 30% alcohol, either isopropyl alcohol or ethyl alcohol, kind of just mixed with water. The Harvard public health experts, they also suggest running the exhaust fan in the bathroom and opening up all windows just to kind of help enhance ventilation. But it is nice that both of us are young, we're vaccinated, we don't have any comorbidities, so we're just trying to get rest, we're trying to stay hydrated and kind of monitor our symptoms just to make sure, you know, we're not getting worse. We're resting a lot more, we're sleeping in, we're going to bed early, taking a couple naps per day, I'm not gonna lie. I'm drinking a ton of water, as well as taking kind of warm, steamy showers to help me kind of break up the mucus for my productive coughs, as well as I'm using a lot of Dayquil and NyQuil, you know, just to kind of help with the symptoms. We do a little bit of physical activity like walking with Coda outside, making sure that we're staying, you know, 6 feet away and we're wearing a mask at all times. Coda's got to go to the bathroom too, guys. You know, we can't just like let her do her business in our apartment. Also, just moving our bodies. We just love to be physically active anyway because it helps so much more than your physical health. It helps your mental health. It helps us sleep better. You know, we're not doing anything crazy, but just it feels nice to at least move our body in some way. Overall, I feel very fortunate that, fingers crossed, we aren't severely affected by COVID-19, and I do believe that's partly due to being vaccinated, being healthier individuals, and blessings from the Lord. So if you do want to learn more about supplements and superfoods that have a clinical benefit that could help you in your overall health, I do offer personalized supplement protocols which are really helping people going from confused and paying too much for, supplements that aren't worth their dime, to feeling confident and they are reaching their health goals faster. To discover if my personalized supplement protocols are something that could help you personally, you can go ahead and use that link in my description to book a free wellness consultation with me. I'm also taking on coaching clients for my online personal wellness programs, which kind of encompass personal training, nutrition coaching, supplement consulting, to really help you go from feeling overwhelmed, fatigued, and confused about what you need to do to see real results, to feel self-efficient, energized, and really achieving your health and wellness goals faster. Whether it's improving overall health, increasing strength or endurance, losing weight, increasing energy, decreasing stress, or managing a specific health condition or disease, or all of the above, my step-by-step personalized wellness programs are really backed with proven results. If you have questions about my program or you want to apply to be one of my coaching clients, you can go ahead, use that same link and book a free wellness consultation with me. If you want more day-to-day tips and tricks and information on superfood supplements and everything under the sun, go ahead and follow me on Instagram at the Superfood Pharmacist. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel on YouTube, as well as hit that little bell notification to make sure you're notified each and every time I upload a new video. If you have any questions whatsoever, please put them in the comments, and make sure to check out all of my scientific references that I've referenced in this video and that I used in creating my opinions on these natural remedies. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you next time in our next video. But until then, keep living your worth.